Mathematicians, do you like to collect things? I kind of do, and sometimes I like to count them out to see how many things I've collected. Well, makes me think a little bit about what we're going to talk about. We're going to actually talk about today that when we have a number of objects in a set, that number stays the same no matter how you count them. That means if I have 10 rocks and I count them in a line, it's still 10. Or if I count them one at a time out of my hand, it's still 10. Yeah. But sometimes it's easier to count things in different ways. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to take a look at the book, 10 Little Fish. Not the whole book, just part of the book. You may know this book. Take a look at this page. It says 10 little fish swimming in a line. One dives down, and then there are, there's 9. Now I'm going to go back to this page for just a minute. Take a look at how these fish are lined up. They're in a row, aren't they? And we can easily count. We know we could start right over here on the left-hand side and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and look, the 10, number 10. That makes it really easy to count when they're in a row, doesn't it? Let's take a look at the next page, though. We said 9 little fish now swimming round a crate. One goes down, and now there are, what would come next? 8. Well, let's take a look at this page. Oh, are these fish in a row? No. So we've got to do some detective work. I think to make it easier on myself, because they're all scattered around, I'm still going to start over here. And remember that this is where I'm starting at the green fish. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Help me count. 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's one back here. 7, 8. Can you find the last one? Oh, 9. Yeah. Now, was it easier or harder to count in the line or when they were scattered? I thought it was maybe a little bit more fun to count them on this one, but I think it was a little easier with the line. Now, things aren't always lined up for us as easily as what this one was. And so did you notice how we made a plan for ourselves? I said, I'm going to start with this green one, and I knew that's where I started. Mathematicians, the number didn't change. It was scattered, but we did have a plan. And so we're going to do something similar to that with our little pond here and our fish. Now, you're going to notice, is this a real pond? No, it's just make-believe. And look, I got all my fish over here as if we're fishing. We're going to put 7 fish in the pond. Are you ready? 1, count with me, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm going to have to move my bucket a little bit here. 6 and 7. All right. So right now, they're just kind of all scattered. So when they're scattered, I have to think to myself, where am I going to start? And how do I not lose track of my counting? So I think I'm going to start right here. Okay? And then I'm going to count on. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you see how I had a plan? I went across, and then I went across here, and then down here. That's what mathematicians do. They have a plan when they're counting. Now, I'm going to move these fish, because I can, into 2 rows. Does that make it a little easier to count? Yeah. So now I'm going to start over here, and I can look and I say, oh, there's 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 3 here. So I can count on 4, 5, 6, 7. Still 7, isn't it? Oh my goodness. So it doesn't matter if the fish are rearranged, they're still the same amount. Now take a look here. Now the fish are kind of in a circle. So as a mathematician, I have to figure out where I'm going to start counting and kind of hold my place so I don't lose track, right? I'm going to start right here. You can see that box around it. And then I might even want to put my finger there to remind myself that that's where I'm starting so I don't count it again. And then I think I'm going to go around the circle. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still 7 fish. You know, mathematicians, as we work together today, did you notice that our number of objects in this set and these fish, it stayed the same, no matter how they were arranged? What we did, though, as mathematicians, is we also made a plan for ourselves. Those ones that were lined up, to me, were easier to count. But that doesn't always happen. So we made a plan. We decided where we were going to count from, and I put a box around it. You may have touched it. So that way we knew where we started and where we were going to end. And that's what mathematicians can do when they count. I hope that you'll remember this as you go off today, that when we count, no matter how things are arranged, there's still the same number, and that we can make a plan when things are not in straight lines. Off you go.